Hey kids, welcome back to Rob's Red Hotspots, and welcome to another No Man's Sky tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys all about trade surges. Trade surges are one of the best ways to make money in the early game. I would argue probably the best way to make a lot of money early game. And what do you need to do these? All you need is an economy scanner. All you need is an economy scanner. You can do it without anything else. It's going to help if you have a bunch of hyperdrive upgrades and maybe the indium drive or drives that allow you to go to different systems. It's going to make things a little smoother, but like realistically, you can do this with the Radiant Pillar as long as you have the economy scanner. What we're going to do first is we're going to make sure that our ship cargo inventory is empty. That's probably the easiest way to do it. And we are going to go into space and fire off the economy scanner. So this is a new feature. It's only been around for a few updates. I'm not sure when they introduced it, but it's fairly recent. So you see you've got the regular locate trade outposts, which is what the economy scanner did in the past. It was like the only thing that it did, as well as show you things on the galaxy map and stuff like that. Then you've got search for trade surges. So let's do this. So search for trade surges. Now you're going to see in the bottom right corner, trade surge, a window system. Sell prices spiking in nearby system. Locate a mining economy to purchase in-demand goods. Select any system in the galaxy map and use R to view economy data. Right, so let's take a look at the galaxy map. So it starts this mission. Let's just go to current mission here, and you can see this little money bag symbol on the Arindo system. So what it does is it finds a 3-star system that is close to you. And that system, in addition to the regular boosts that it gets for the particular goods that you would normally sell in that system, so in this case, this is a manufacturing system, so you would sell mining goods in that system, it adds an additional like 100% bonus to the value of goods. So you're going to be able to double and triple your money very quickly, and this is a lot faster than the old school method of going to 4 or 5 different types of economies and upselling goods. Like that can take a long time, especially if you're early game and don't have a fancy hyperdrive like I do here. You're going to want to, if you want to like double or potentially triple your money in like 2 or 3 jumps, then the trade surge is the best way to do it. So you do have a 3-hour timer on this. So you can only do it once every 3 hours of game time, but you can make a lot of money in that time, and it doesn't need to take you 3 hours. So first thing we're going to do is sort the galaxy map by economy type. Now we're looking for mining economies, which I believe is the orange one. Yeah, orange mining. Okay. So what we're going to do now is all we're doing is we're looking for 3-star mining economies. So it's a lot simpler than ordinary trading because all we're doing is looking for one type of system. So we're just going to scan around here until we find one within our hyperdrive range, ideally. Shouldn't take that long. There we go. There's a 3-star mining system. Okay, so we're going to hop there. Okay, and next up what we're going to do is we are going to scan using the economy scanner again. And this time we're going to select locate trade outpost. There's a trade outpost. We're going to go there. You can also do this in space stations. It depends on how much time you want to spend. The thing about this is if you're trying to make money as quickly as possible, you're going to make a little bit less money, but depending on how you look at it, it can be more money, because if you're looking at money per time, then you're actually getting a better deal. But the ideal thing is to go to the trading posts. But again, it depends how much time you want to spend doing this. If you want to just make a quick buck really quickly and maybe not get the best margin, there's diminishing returns, because the real bonus with trade surges is not the price that we're getting at this trading post, it's the price that we're getting when we sell the goods. Okay, so we're going to go to the terminal here. And I'm going to switch to my ship inventory because my ship inventory is empty. Now look at the 4 trade goods that we have here. These are all good to be sold in a manufacturing system, which is where we want to go. And what we're going to probably want to do is focus on buying the most valuable ones first. So I'm going to grab this one here, and it's probably worth grabbing this one as well. You see the margins here? The margins range from about minus 20% to minus 60%. Okay, so I'm gonna grab $2 million worth of that. My starting money was 37 million, by the way. We could also grab the bromide salt if we want. Keep in mind, these goods that are less valuable, it's less worth your while, even though the margins tend to be higher on them. Like, it's not really worth buying $282,000 worth of that, or this little $73,000 stack. It's going to fill up your inventory faster. But because I only have 37 million, I'll buy the bromide salt too. Take a look at our Starship inventory here. You can see that we have enough room to do 3 or 4 more of these mining systems if we want to. I'm going to go to the space station though and show you guys what the margins look like at the space station, because when you're doing a trade surge, it's not really like when you're doing normal trading. You kind of want to just do it quickly and get it done with, and min-maxing the margins kind of defeats the purpose of using the trade surge, in my opinion, because the whole point of a trade surge is that you can make money quickly, and it's not really about making as much money as possible. Although, you know, depending on how you want to play, you could really min-max this by only buying the most expensive goods and filling up a massive inventory full of them and selling them all at once. The key point here is that we can't go back to the system where the trade surge is happening until we've purchased everything that we want to purchase, because we're going to sell it all at once, because it's going to crash the economy afterwards. We're going to go to the space station terminal here and take a look at the prices. So we can see here that the margins are much thinner, -3%, -10%. You know, you can see that the margins are not nearly as good here. But to be perfectly honest, I still think it's worth just buying it here. I'm going to go to my ship inventory. So I'll buy the 3 most expensive goods again. 1, 2, 3. I'll leave the unrefined pyrite grease and the dirt behind. And we're going to go to another system now. If you want, you can do other things while you do this. You've got a whole 3 hours before the trade surge dies out. So if you want to also, you know, learn some words or do some ship scrapping or hunt for multi-tools or whatever it is you want to do in the game, you can absolutely have time to do that as well as do this while you're making a ton of money. So we're looking for another 3-star mining system. So we're once again looking at the orange dots here. One thing that's probably useful is if you turn your galaxy map and look back at where the trade surge is, you don't really want to get super far from that system unless you've put down like a base down there, or you've maybe marked it in the teleporter. My teleporter is such a mess these days that like I usually navigate on the galaxy map or by putting bases down. There's a mining system that is 3-star economy, so we're going to warp over there quickly. Okay, let's do the trade post again. Okay. And we should be able to complete this process in, I would say, 2 or 3 jumps with this setup. Keep in mind, when you're doing a trade surge, your purpose is to double or triple the money that you have currently. So like I said, the margins don't really matter quite as much because the sell margin is going to be so high. So it's really just a matter of making sure that you spend all the money that you have, because the more money you spend, the more money that you're going to make. So we're going to buy the most expensive goods again here, just the 3 top most expensive ones. Oh, into our ship inventory. Okay, and we're down to 7 million, so we should be able to do the space station in this system, and then I don't think we're going to be able to go to another system. If you start with more money, you can make even more by doing this. You can also see as you're doing this, if you click the log here, you can see that we have $38.9 million of in-demand goods that we can sell. And that is actually higher than the 37 million that I started with, and that's because we're buying all this at discounted prices. Obviously, the discount at the space station is not as good as at the trade terminal, but like I said, it's the sell price where we're going to get most of our margin on trade surges, so I'm a little bit less concerned about the 25 or 30% difference in the buy price that we're getting at the space station. I mostly just want to do this quickly, and I don't want to have to warp to, 15 different systems to fill up my inventory. And once again, the 3 most expensive goods, you can see that we can actually only afford to buy this one. So that's what we're going to do. There we go. Okay, so we've actually spent all of our money. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the system that the trade surge is actually occurring in, so the Arindo system. So as long as we have this selected, it will give us waypoints to get back there. If you are doing a lot more trading and you're going to a lot more systems, you might want to either put down a base computer or at the least maybe favorite the station that you're in or something like that. Let's go to the galaxy map here. Now, if I was kind of lost and didn't know where the system is, I could go over to current mission, and it will give me, it almost always gives you a very inefficient path to get to your destination. So I'm going to jump straight to the Arindo system here because there it is. Keep in mind I started with 37 million. Now we do want to go down to a trade outpost to do our selling. So go to the economy scanner, search for nearby trade events, and locate trade outpost. Here's our trading posts. And you're going to see the kind of prices that we get when we get down here. And this is why I'm not too worried about buying at the space station versus buying at the trade posts in the systems that we're buying in, because it's the margin. Remember, it's the margin on the sale that is the biggest in this. So again, how much you want to min-max this and how much time you want to spend doing this is up to you. If you get a lot of satisfaction from really getting the best possible margin out of your trading, then go for it. But the purpose of this video is to show you how to make money quickly in real life time. And so now we're going to go here. We're just going to double check that, oh yeah, some of this stuff ended up in my exosuit inventory by mistake. So I just want to double check that everything is in one inventory. There we go. We've got a ship full of 2.5 million unit stacks, 700,000, 1.5 million unit stacks. You know, obviously you can see here that the size of your ship's inventory is kind of the determining factor. If you do this on a freighter, you will have twice as many items per slot, and you can also trade directly on the freighter. You don't need to go down to a trade system, but I wanted to show you this with the ship because I think it's more likely that in the early game you'll be better set up to do that in your ship. It's easier to upgrade the hyperdrive and all that. Now we can see when we go to sell here, we can see that we are getting 126% bonus to selling this. So the bonus here, I believe, is a lot bigger than just in ordinary trading. Now we can sell all three of these. And we've more than doubled our money. So we started with 37 million, we're up to 79 million. You can get better margins by only trading at trade posts. You can get better margins by only buying the most expensive goods and, you know, filling up your entire inventory if you have more money. There's a million ways that you can min-max this to make even more money, but basically we've just doubled our money, and I would say that whole process took about 15 minutes. Obviously now that we've done the trade surge, we can't do another trade surge in this system. There's also a 3-hour timer. You can only do this once every 3 hours. So what I would recommend is if you're starting a new file and you get to a point where you've got maybe, you know, 5 or 10 million and want to just double that money quickly, you see the trade surge started, it was a 3-hour timer. So we've really only been doing this for 15 minutes since we fired the trade surge. So we can't do another one for 2 hours and 44 minutes. So, you know, if I'm only playing a few hours a day or whatever, I can just do this once at the start when I play and get it and sort of move on and then just do other stuff. Frankly, it makes you so much money. Like if I were to do this again, I could easily go from 80 million right to like 160 or 180 million right away. If you do end up doing 2 trade surges in a single sitting, then what I recommend that you do is that you go to the galaxy map. You should not use the same trade surge system twice, because we've basically tanked the economy of this system by selling a bunch of those goods all at once. So what I would recommend that you do is go to an area of space that you have not explored. And to do that, I would just recommend just go through a black hole. Black holes don't damage your ships anymore. There's nothing to be afraid of. Just go through a black hole. It's going to send you, like right now we are, you know, if you look at in the top left corner of the galaxy map, you can see that we're just south of the galactic core, 678,000 light years. If we go through this black hole here, it is going to send us like somewhere else, like 1 million light years away, so that we don't need to worry about trading in the same systems, because if you're doing this a lot, if you're doing a lot of trading in the game, it's quite possible that because there's not that many 3-star systems, so it's quite possible that you will, kind of tank the economy in one area, and you may just want to go to a completely kind of virgin area of space where you haven't affected the economy a lot. So that's what I would recommend, is if you're looking to start a new trade surge on a file where you've already done at least one, maybe do a black hole. You can always just teleport back to the part of space that you're used to hanging out in. So that's all I have to say about trade surges. As you can see, that was 15 minutes to double our money. I don't really think that there is a faster way to make that kind of money in the early game. We traveled 151,000 light years. So I don't really think that there is a faster way to make money in the early game. Obviously, you can only do it once every 3 hours, but frankly, there's a lot of stuff to do in this game, so it's just a really good thing to have in your kind of tool belt of ways to make money in No Man's Sky. So I hope this is useful to you. I hope I've kind of explained how these work. They're not like the ordinary trade routes where you go from like a yellow system to a orange system to a red system back to a blue system, where you do these trade routes. The trade surge is all about you're selling everything in one system, and you're going to systems, you're going to all the same type of system to get as many goods as you can of that. And like I said, you can push this way further. We could have spent the whole 3-hour period maxing out our inventory with stuff and selling it all at once and spending a lot more money. But as it stands, we ended up making like 40 million units in 15 minutes, which I think is one of the best rates of return in this game. So hope that was useful, and let me know what you think.